Hey, Trish.
You want me to turn my mute on?
Yes, please.
Wasn't sure what you could hear.
Everything.
They're like a.
There you go. But unmute when you want to ask questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So we just want to welcome everybody today to the Emotional Aromatherapy and Mood Management class. This is one of our fourth class on our Continuing Ed series. So we just want to welcome everybody here today. I'm Kathy Griffith and Sandy.
Dr. Sandy, nice to see you.
Glad you're all here. So we're going to talk a little bit about today how the effects of emotional distress is on our body and how these great oils can be used in conjunction on everyday uses to make us feel better.
That's right. Absolutely. Because, we all need to feel good, right?
And life is busy. Life is busy. All of us have schedules and things, and sometimes we wear ourselves out. And so by using some oils throughout the day, and if you're kind of in tune to what your emotions are, you can kind of pick the oils that will help you along the way.
I'm muting my phone so that nobody can interrupt us. All right. So here we go. We're going to get started.
So what is an essential oil? A lot of us know what essential oils are, but where they're come from are from the plants, the leaves, the roots of plants. They are either cold pressed or steam distilled, and they're very powerful.
Yeah, it's nice that we can use them without the side effects that we would get with the synthetic drugs that a lot of people are on to help them with mood management. Now, if you're just joining us and you guys don't know what an essential oil is and you haven't done an intro class yet, you definitely are going to want to join us for one of our intro classes. Sometimes we do them online. Sometimes we do them live. So this Friday night at 7 p.m., we actually have a class here in Noonan. Which would be an intro to oils class. This class that we're talking about tonight is not an intro class. So if you have questions about how to use the oils and where to apply them and safety and so on and so forth, you're going to want to join an intro class. But you'll definitely get the idea tonight. If you've just joined us, would you please hit mute on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen? Because we are recording this so that everybody can hear it. So, and if you have questions, you can unmute yourself, okay? All right, so what is aromatherapy? Well, a lot of people seem to think that it's a little bit of hoopla, or little voodoo witch doctor stuff, right? But actually, it's the art and science of utilizing naturally extracted aromatic essences from plants to bring balance and harmony and to promote the health of the body, mind, and spirit. It is not just hoopla. You're going to see tonight that there is a lot of scientific background and chemistry that goes into how the essential oil works, including brain chemistry. So
there is a science.
Yes, there is a science. And we like that because we're science girls. We're the geeky girls right here. We like the science.
That's right.
Okay. So, but what is my definition? My definition is it's the stuff I sniff so I can go from being a big hot mess to life is good.
Yeah, life is good.
Yeah. This has definitely helped me tonight. I was a big hot mess when Kathy walked in. I about bit her head off because I was so frustrated with my computer. But anyway, so balance was our lifesaver, and it saves our friendship.
That's right. That's right. Balance is a good one for everyone.
All right. So what are emotions? They're complex reactions to stimuli, and this differs from person to person. Some people react very differently to the very same stimulus, depending on what our background is, what our history is, what we've been exposed to.
What baggage we carry sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Will really make a big difference as how we react to things. But the one thing that's the same is that we all store all that baggage and all those emotions and all the traumas and everything else that we've been through. We store that all in a very little special place in our brain called the amygdala. So we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But that is the one thing that is the same. And the fact that we all utilize brain chemistry and receptor sites and so on and so forth to make a difference as to how we react to things. And that's also how we can train ourselves to not react to certain things. So we'll talk about that.
So how important is emotional well-being? Well, people who are emotionally healthy are in control of their behaviors and emotions. They are better prepared to handle life's challenges. So when we handle stress a little better, it doesn't affect our body as much. Going into a heavy day at work, if you are ready, it's not so bad.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So it's kind of how we're psyched up and ready for it.
That's right. We got to kind of get your guard on. Get your shield on. Isn't that right?
That's right. Okay. So there's two parts to the nervous system. And I'm not going to go real deep here, but the two parts of the nervous system that are at war with each other are the sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system.
Or back in the day, the
fight or flight. Yeah. Or the feed and breed, mm-hmm. right? So we're going to talk about that. So the sympathetic response, this is when stress kind of triggers something in our body, and we start to release these chemicals in our bodies called, well, some of them is glucose, but a lot of times we release endorphins, adrenaline, and cortisol. Okay, now adrenaline and cortisol are really good things. I mean, like, for example, if your kid's trapped underneath, a car and you pick it up, I mean, that's good because adrenaline does some amazing things for our bodies in short bursts of stress. Okay, cortisol is great in short bursts of stress. Glucose is good in where we need short bursts of energy during a stressful situation. However, when these things kind of get out of control and they start overworking themselves and running too long, okay, what happens is we wind up feeling stressed out, frustrated, we're unhappy. We also start packing on the pounds around the waist, okay? We start feeling grumpy and just not ourselves. And that's because we're seriously out of balance with what our body is supposed to do in normal situations like this.
You can't be in a fight mode all the time.
No, you can't be on all the time. It's not.
That's right.
It really affects your mood, and it affects your health as well. Because these type of things, when they're coursing through our system full time instead of very minor part time, what happens is they can mimic disease. Like, for example, I had to take my husband to the ER because he was sure he was dying of a heart attack. It was called a panic attack. I knew that because his blood pressure was not through the roof. He was not sweating. He didn't have any, but he had the physical manifestations that he felt like he was dying. Okay. It felt like a heart attack, right? But it was just pure stress. Okay. And it can affect the body the same way. So where we want to be is in this feed and breed mode, right?
That's right.
When the husband comes home, sits on with the remote and clicks the TV and forgets everybody else is around. That's where he's, that's that homeostasis level. That's where our bodies are happy, where we're stable and balanced and we feel right emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. These are really important places to be. So we want to be living in this parasympathetic world until something stressful hits. Then we only want to live there for a short time. Okay? And then we want to go back to this place where we feel peaceful, calm, relaxed, happy. You know what I'm saying? We want to be there. We want to live there.
That's kind of why the oils are so bright, because they're to bring your body in balance. Mm-hmm. They're not going to give you that highs or the lows. It's a homeostasis.
That's right. We just want to be in homeostasis all the time, where our bodies are being able to work and do all the processes that it's supposed to do without the negative effects.
However, that looks like most of our lives, though, I would say. When y'all agree that is how most of our life is, we're busy with lists. We're busy with family. We're busy with bills and work and no sleep. And the life is like this. Life is busy, with two families running all the time, two people.
And it's really hard sometimes to avoid these negative emotions when we're having to live in this stressful world. And it's okay to have negative emotions. Don't get me wrong. Those are natural for us to feel frustrated or angry or overwhelmed. Those are not bad things if we don't unpack and live there. Okay, but if we unpack and live there, then we have problems. Okay, so we don't want to live in this world. We have to deal with it, but we also want to be able to bring ourselves back to a happy place so that our bodies can heal and repair and rest the way they need to. Wouldn't it be nice if this is what we could do all day?
I know.
Just sit on the beach and meditate and do yoga?
I think we all should go there.
I think so too. But unfortunately, this is more like what our life looks like.
Yes.
Right? This is kind of where we are.
Definitely. So what are the effects of aromatherapy? Well, they're very calming, uplifting, renewing, inspiring. But how does it all work?
Well, it really wasn't until the 1990s that the biologists began to research how these chemical receptors in the body respond to the effects of scent. So this research really opened up a whole new world. Now we have, hospitals on with aromatherapy. They're doing major research. Right now, Johns Hopkins is about to release a lot of a really great study that they did recently. And modern times is now catching up to the ancient times, which is really sad. But these ancient concepts of aromatherapy, they knew back then that the effects of scent on our emotions were phenomenal. Okay, they already knew that. They already were, they knew that back ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, they all, Socrates, they all felt like one of the most important things was to bathe in essential oils and take aromatic baths because they knew that it was good for the body, right?
I think industries are coming to that because I think they're starting to learn if they make their employees happy with the morale and stuff through oils, so they'll have happier employees. And that's what they're looking for.
You see that in hotels and spas and stuff like that. Like, for example, if you go into the Marriott, they have a very specific signature scent that they blow through the ductwork in the lobby in the common areas. It's like lemongrass and ginger, and I'm not sure what the other scent is, but I noticed it immediately. And they're actually essential oils. It's their signature scent because they know that it makes people calm and relaxed.
Brings them to that happy place.
So then when they're there in their place of business, they have happy, calm people, not irate, mean people, grumpy people.
I know. When you have a good experience somewhere, though, it makes you want to come back.
Absolutely. So who has ever smelled a batch of cookies and it reminded them of grandma or being home with their mom or whatever, It's a happy smell, right?
That's right.
How come we associate smells with memory?
I bet there's something scientific about it that you're going to tell us about, isn't it?
Yes, there is. All right, so here's the aromatic pathway. I promise you I will not kill you on brain chemistry or neurology here. But we're just going to basically look at how when we smell something, it affects the brain and makes a change. Okay, so when he's smelling a rose, okay, he smells the rose, and it comes up into the nasal mucosa and goes straight to the olfactory bulb. You see this little pink thing right here? Okay, that's the olfactory bulb. And it immediately goes there. There's no synapse required, nothing. The brain, it's the only sense that does that. Okay, that it doesn't have to have a synapse. So it goes straight to the olfactory bulb, and then it follows itself around right in here into the center part of the brain. And if you look up here, I think it kind of looks like a crayfish or something. But anyway, this is your hypothalamus, and this is your thalamus. This is the limbic system of the brain. And right here in the center is the amygdala. Okay, so this is really a very important place because this is where we store our emotions. This is where we store our memories, our traumas. This is where our hormones are told to be released or not released, okay? This is the full autonomic influence of the body is controlled by this part of the brain. So you can see that when you smell something, research has shown that it immediately goes to that memory portion of the brain, and it's either a pleasant thing or a negative thing. So a smell that might be wonderful for you, Kathy, might be your favorite smell. You might love ylang ylang. Okay, I can't stand the smell of ylang ylang. Okay? I don't know why. I don't know when I smelt it that was a negative experience, but it's not a positive experience for me. Okay, but there's other oils that I absolutely adore that you might not. Right? Like I love cheer. Right?
I do not.
So cheer smell. It reminds me of root beer. Like, I know that sounds weird, but it reminds me of root beer, and it makes me feel happy and fuzzy, and I don't know, it reminds me of my childhood. So I love that smell, and it makes me happy and very uplifted. And it might not do the same for you. You know, maybe you had the stomach bug when you drank root beer one day. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. But that's how that works. All right. So why does this happen? Well, basically, essential oils work at the cellular level, all right? There's basically two major reasons why they work. One is because they have a low molecular size, and two, because they're lipid soluble.
Since they come from plants and stuff, they are digested just like food, so it can actually get into that cell wall, which is really neat.
Absolutely. We have cell membranes. Yeah, they go into the cell wall of the plant, though. Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
All right. So our bodies are biologically programmed to react to the essential oil constituents. They interact with a variety of receptor sites. So that's basically how they communicate, right? They plug into a receptor site. It releases different neurochemicals and enzymes, and it gives a potential for therapeutic activity. All right. So if you're on here, and could you guys go ahead and mute your buttons, please, if you're on, if you're not asking a question. Thank you. Okay. So basically, you know, we talked about how the receptor sites, the smell receptors pick it up, right? It goes straight to the limbic system in the brain, okay? And it governs our emotional responses. So when we smell something, we can have a really positive or very negative response to something, right? Right. Okay. So the olfactory centers are also linked to the hippocampus, hypothalamus, excuse me. We looked at that before in the picture of the brain. And this is our visceral control center. This means that it directly influences the pituitary, and the pituitary regulates blood pressure, hunger, thirst, sleep cycles, production of sex hormones, memories, all of those things, okay? So that's a pretty powerful thing that it can do. So when the aroma interacts with the hypothalamus, it can influence that neurochemistry and affect the entire body. So that's how we get our good health outcomes from the essential oils. Did you have something that you wanted to add to that? I can't remember. So here's
I do wanted to ask. Well, let's ask a question out there. So how many of you used essential oils and got like an immediate response from it? You know, something that you weren't anticipating. It doesn't have to be aromatherapy, but how quick it was that those essential oils worked for you. Is anybody?
Nobody's had a real quick response. My favorite response is when I use digestin. My tummy gets upset. I can put digestin on my stomach, and it's almost immediate that my stomach starts to feel better.
Well, for me, it's kind of like working night shift and then flipping flop back to days. Sometimes I get a little head tension, and I can put peppermint on the roof of my mouth, and that can really make it go away pretty quick, which is pretty cool.
That is good. That's very good. So this is just a recap. The odor molecules bind to the receptor sites in the neural pathways, right? It influences the limbic system, stimulates the release of neurotransmitters, influences the hypothalamus and the amygdala, and it can create a change in the body. That's the most important part, right? All right, so that was enough brain chemistry for you guys, right?
She is the chemistry guru.
So here's one of my favorite oils. We talked about balance. One of the reasons why I love balance is because it's my Don't Make Mountains Out of Molehills oil. It calms me. It relaxes me. It makes me, I'm sorry, my kids are being very loud out there. So she's going to have to rein them in for me. Okay. If you can believe it, they are downstairs and you can still hear every word they're saying. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about the different plant parts and how they work. But the great part about balance is that the reason why it's grounding is because it's mostly your tree oils. Okay, your tree oils are very grounding and balancing and calming. So the great part about that is we're going to now see why they work like that, right? All right. So what oil should I use? Like what kind of oil? Well, if you see here, there's a list of plant types down the left side and a list of properties on the right, okay? The different categories of plant type really line up with how they make you feel, the different properties. So remember, we just talked about trees. Okay? They're very grounding. They kind of stabilize us and make us feel okay. You know, when life's kind of being rough with us, we can stand our ground. We can be rooted where we are. Your citrus oils, they're very uplifting, right? They kind of make us happy. Who's ever smelled one of the citrus oils and not smiled, right? Exactly. Everyone always smiles when they smell citrus. It's just very uplifting. Your mints are very energizing. When you smell peppermint, you're awake. You're ready to go, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the plant type, and these are the properties that the plant types tend to have in general as a group, okay? So, for example, we're going to break this down a little bit. Flowers, we give them when someone has a death in the family, or we want to show somebody we love them, or we want to comfort somebody during a time when they're having a hard time, right? So flowers really give emotional support, right? Okay. So they can calm emotions and they can soothe our emotions when they're high, right? Fruits, like the citrus oils, right? They tend, or like juniper berry and things like that, they tend to be very uplifting and cleansing and refreshing. So they're good to use when energy is stagnant or when we have a low mood or we're feeling sad. Citrus oils tend to be really great for that.
Motivating you.
Yeah, they're
which is why one of the oils that I really like is Motivate. So when you kind of get in that, you need somebody to kind of give you a push. Fruit oils are great for that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. They get you up and going. Now, think about what the leaves do for the trees or the plants, right? This is where they breathe from. This is where the respiration happens. They protect from water loss. So the neat part about them is that they're very protective emotionally and physically. They support the respiratory system, especially during grief and fear. And you're like, where does grief and fear come into this picture? Well, think about it. If someone's grieving, if you've ever lost somebody and it's been kind of tragic for you or very emotional for you, initially it's really hard to breathe. It feels like there's an elephant sitting on your chest, right? You're kind of stifled and you just can't get a deep breath. Same thing with fear. We hold our breath when we're scared, right? Right. So this is why the leaves are so supportive to our respiratory system and during these times of emotional need. Okay, so oils like eucalyptus, rosemary, peppermint, all the things that are distilled from leaves will give you this kind of emotional support.
Remember, like when we do yoga class, how at the beginning they take those deep breaths in, and all of a sudden you feel like that weight is coming off of your shoulder. That's kind of like what the leaves do.
Absolutely,
it opens you up.
That's right. So your wood conducts water and nutrients upward. Okay, it also conducts the energy and balance. It gives us core support. And it can bring us centeredness and calming. That's why I love balance so much.
Me too.
Okay, the tree oils are just good, really good. I love the wood. Now, roots, they anchor and they provide strength and grounding, but they also calm anxious feelings and emotions. So think about vetiver. Vetiver has these huge, long roots that come out of the ground, and I love using vetiver at night to sleep, but I also like using it with maybe kids who are a little hyperactive, little, distracted in school, things like that. Vetiver is a great one for that. And then your resin oils, like frankincense. Okay, they're created for healing, both wound healing and physically and emotionally. Okay, so when they cut that tree, when they cut the frankincense tree and it starts to tear, that resin that comes out, the oglio resin that comes out, is actually there to heal the wound of the tree. And because it's there to heal the wound of the tree, it also does the same thing for us emotionally. So frankincense is a great oil for any type of emotional wounds that we need healing. Okay.
Speaking of, I think I want to bring this up, but there is a good book, if you all haven't seen this one right here, and it's called Emotions and Essential Oils. If you haven't got it, it has a great information on each of the oils and how it relates to your emotions. I think this book is fabulous. So maybe a little Christmas present for yourself. This would be a great book to have.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Oh, chemistry. Don't panic, okay? I'm not going to go into crazy chemistry, but I just want to show you how this works. I want you to understand that now we talked about the plant parts, okay? So if you're looking around here, you can see that jasmine and Roman chamomile and clary sage, lavender, all these are flowers, right? They all come from the flower, okay? And it shows us that all of those are calming. Well, why is that? That's because they're mainly composed of esters. Esters is the chemistry, okay? It's the main family of chemistry that actually within it has different chemical constituents like linalool acetate, okay? These tend to be very calming on the emotions, okay? Because they're part of the ester family, okay? This is why they have this effect, okay? Same thing here. If you're looking at the monoterpenes, okay? One of their chemical constituents is d-limonene. The limonene is a great oil that's very uplifting and energizing, and it makes you feel motivated. And the great part about that is that the way you can remember is that they are all in the citrus oils. Do you see this? We've got bergamot and tangerine and wild orange, grapefruit, lemon, and lime. So whenever we need to be cheered up, be happy, feel a little bit happier, we want to look for oils that have that particular chemistry. And you don't have to know the chemical constituents. You just need to understand that these particular families have these properties because of its chemistry. Does that make sense? I want you guys to understand that this isn't voodoo witch doctor stuff, that this is actually...
There's science behind it.
Science, chemistry, neurochemistry, neurology, and physiology. So it's not... I'm not trying to sell you some snake oils, okay? All right, just kidding. All right. So here we look at some of the emotional aromatherapy blends. Now we have more than this. We have things like the Serenity and Citrus Bliss and Balance and other oils as well, Elevation. They're all great mood oils. And even single oils like frankincense and wild orange and things like that. They're all very emotionally charged oils that will really help balance you out. But here are some of our blends in the emotional aromatherapy kit, and we're going to talk about that. Here you can see that Motivate, the one that Kathy loves, okay, is composed of mints and citrus, okay? So, and you can see that Cheer is citrus and spices, okay? Passion is spices and herbs and grasses. Forgive is trees and herbs and grasses. Console is trees and florals. And peace is mints and florals. Okay? So what does that mean?
Well, sometimes if you kind of know what your mood is, you can kind of look on the wheel and find out which oil might be best for you.
That's true. Mm-hmm. See, you even have these great little words in here. See, if we feel gloomy or distressed or discouraged, we can look to a citrus oil to help cheer us up.
That's right.
Make sense? Now, here I've pulled together the emotions, the plant families, their chemistry, and what they make you feel. Okay? So here you can see that the citrus oils, okay, if you're feeling gloomy, you might want to grab a citrus oil. Okay? So you might either want to go with Motivate or Cheer. Okay? Because the citrus oils are uplifting, they help give us a positive outlook. And what is their chemistry? Monoterpene family. Okay? Same thing here. Your spices are invigorating. They add excitement and passion. Okay, and that's
warmth to you.
A little warmth, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like the passion the passion lotion that's out for our Christmas stuff. Smells wonderful, but it's warm and kind of exciting and spicy. So it's kind of fun. And those are because it's comprised of aldehydes and phenols. All right. Now, your soothing and relaxing oils are going to be your herbs and grasses, okay? And also your trees are very calming and grounding and balancing. And in there you have 3 families. You have the sesquiterpenes, the esters, and the oxides. So these are the type of chemistry you're looking for when you want to feel calm and grounded, okay? Now, if you need calming and soothing, you might want to go towards alcohols. Okay, these are like your monoterpenols and your sesquiterpenols. Okay, and those are found in your floral flowers. And see, they help people that may feel worried or fearful or hurt, and so this makes them feel better. So they can either go with console or they can go with peace. Okay, so your mints, this is your last chemical family. They're mainly comprised of your ketones, and they're energizing and calming. So my son loves to diffuse peppermint while he's doing his school. It kind of keeps him awake, but at the same time keeps him calm in his mind so that he can get his work done. Does that make sense?
And the great thing about the wheel is you could probably use several of these oils several times a day, depending on what your mood is.
That's right.
Depending on what happens.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, so that was enough chemistry for you guys, right? All right.
Okay, so just a few drops can elicit a profound emotional response to help us. For me, motivate when I get I'm a list girl, if you don't know me, and sometimes that list gets a little overwhelming. And so for me, I just diffuse motivate, or they actually have some of these mood oils in the touch form, and I'll bring all of them to work because some days I need a little motivate, but some days I'm a little tired and I need something else, or I might need a little peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or maybe some forgiveness.
Yeah. It's funny how certain oils you're kind of drawn to, and you don't even know that.
And on that note, you can look at this very scientifically, and you can look at the chemistry behind it, but what it boils down to is your intuition. You will be naturally drawn to smells that make you feel better. Okay, so trust yourself. Don't worry if you don't understand the chemistry. You don't have to. I just want you to see that that's what causes the outcomes that you get. Okay, I want you to understand that there's actually science behind it. I think that's important to validate, right?
And I think it's important to know that some of these oils you can blend.
Oh, yes.
So, for example, at nighttime, when you start using these, and we're going to talk about a little bit later about a routine, I don't like vetiver alone, but I like how it makes me feel. So I'll add a little lavender to it, or serenity. Agree?
Yes. I think that dirt and flowers belong together. Okay, flowers by themselves do not belong together. They need something to balance them out. So
That's right.
a little dirt and flowers works well.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so motivate. We're going to talk about some of the mood oils. And motivate, if you look at the screen, is your encouraging blend. And it's made of your citrus and your mint. So this is the list of the ingredients inside of motivate.
You can see that they're in the citrus and mint families, right?
So motivate, what does it do? So some of the negative emotions that you have from motivate is that you're anxious, insecure, you're discouraged. And what I do like about motivate is after I put a little bit of that in my diffuser, I feel a little more confident. I trust in it. And then I'm starting to get more of that list done, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So you can go from these negative emotions to these positive emotions with this particular oil. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So now cheers, one of my favorites.
I'll let you deal with that one.
It's spicy, so it kind of stirs a little passion, kind of makes me feel a little happy because of the citrus oils, okay? And I don't know, maybe it reminds me of my childhood, I guess. I just love it. It just makes me happy. I'm not a big fan of the elevation. It's a little too, I don't know, there's something to it that it doesn't speak to me, but the cheer does. So I love the way this one makes me feel. I could feel discouraged or distressed or, even a little sad, and it can really help change me from this, to be a little bit more optimistic, to make me feel a little bit happier and cheerful and, light and happy. This was one that I had in my diffuser necklace for the past. She's got a diffuser necklace on.
I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah. Cheer's been in my diffuser necklace this whole year because I've needed it.
So passion. Passion is our inspiring blend. So we joke about this because passion doesn't have to mean one thing. I mean, we can lose our passion in life or our passion for our job. So passion is that nice warming kind of scent.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's your spices and your herbs and grasses.
Yeah. So sometimes we're bored. I mean, sometimes we just don't like our work, our family. We're disconnected. We're kind of angry. By putting a little passion on, we're a little daring, a little excited, a little playful, joyful. It just kind of brings you a little warmer.
Let me tell you, the oils that are in this blend, though, they are very expensive oils. Like, they'll never sell them individually because they're very, very pricey. And this oil by itself in this bottle is great for diffusing and stuff, but it's a little too spicy for my skin. Personally, I have real sensitive skin. So I either like to put these type of oils in my diffuser necklace, in my diffuser, or I love to use the touch because the touch is perfectly diluted and it doesn't irritate my skin.
Right? And for any of you that are new, just to remember that the most side effects that you will get for many of the oils is usually a skin irritation. And it's usually because your skin is a little sensitive. So most of the oils just to dilute with them.
Yeah. Oh, there's never a reason not to dilute your oils. All right. So forgive.
We all could use a little forgiveness on something. I can almost guarantee you.
This one kind of smells, I don't know, maybe a Christmas kind of like a Christmas tree farm, because you've got your spruce and your juniper berry and myrrh, some trees, lots of tree oils in there. So it smells to me like a bottle of trees. But it smells good. It's very grounding.
I think we should have snow like dropping right now. That would be like perfect.
Yeah, it's still like 80 degrees here. So forgive is a great blend. If we feel a little bitter or angry, or maybe if we're grieving, a little sad or ashamed, these are some of our heavy emotions that we might not want to have.
Sometimes we're a little disappointed in things that happen in life.
Yeah.
And forgive is just kind of that oil we all need.
That's true. It helps us kind of accept what's been dished out to us, right?
That's right.
Helped us be a little bit more content with what we have.
Right. So console. It kind of says it in itself. It's the comforting blend. It's got great things in it. It's got ylang ylang. It's got patchouli, frankincense, my favorite. And so it's just really kind of comforting. It's a great oil.
Kind of smells like flowers.
It is floral.
Yes.
But it has a little woods in it.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Now, a friend of mine likes to mix that with spearmint and wear it as a perfume. She loves it.
Okay, so some of the negative emotions that you could be feeling are worried or hurt, grieving, or sad. And it just kind of, the positive outcomes from it are that you're a little more hopeful, a little more comforting.
That's right. Now, peace. I kind of like peace diffused.
I do like peace.
Like at night, it's not bad. I kind of like it. And I'm not normally a floral person, but you see they mixed roots and dirt in there, so that's good for me. I love when they put the frankincense and the vetiver in with that. It just kind of gives us this nice blend. So if we're feeling, worried or hurt or anxious, we could, or maybe even a little insecure, we can put that in the diffuser before we go to bed, or maybe where we're working at night.
So that would be a good one for like me, who is a list person, who I'm worried about, did I get everything off the list? This would probably be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you work with somebody that's a little ornery, you might need
a little peace.
Yeah. Okay. So not all of these blends are going to really appeal to everyone, but you just need to find what speaks to you. And again, there's so much more than just this. This is just showing you, these are just examples, but some of the other oils that we might use would be like Intune. Do you like using Intune?
Oh, I love Intune. My kids use Intune. We have one of my son, he just kind of has a little squirrel moments, if anybody knows what squirrel moments are.
So like a chicken.
Yeah. What was that? I don't know. But anyway, so Intune keeps him a little focused. And so he'll put that on before he goes to school, and it really, really has helped him stay focused and get what he wants to accomplish. And he's trying to get into college, so for him, he's really liking Intune right now.
When I need to buckle down and get something accomplished like this, I've been working on my aromatherapy certification. I'm almost done. Anyway, like this past weekend, I knocked out a whole bunch of it, and I know it was because I had Intune going. Intune was on I like to cover it with some wild orange, and it just kind of, I love the way it makes me stay focused and how I feel when I'm trying to do some hard tasks. Maybe I just don't have time to be distracted by outside things, and it really helps me stay focused.
There's one other oil that I really like is Purify, and I use that a lot. And I don't know if any of y'all have used Purify, but I like to diffuse that at work. And the reason is sometimes we bring that home life with us and to promote a more positive environment. And Purify does that. It creates that positive environment.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Okay, so how do we use it? I mean, the 3 ways that we can use it is, well, first of all, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to kind of bring it over here. Is to diffuse it through the petal diffuser, okay? Or any diffuser. So you are getting the great benefits by just smelling that aroma. And then also, I do like the Aroma Touch. I bring my whole little kit of Aroma Touch with me of the mood management, and you can apply a little bit to your wrist, and then you can get the great effect. Or you can wear it like in the jewelry.
That's right. You can also put a drop or 2 in your hands and cover your nose and mouth and breathe it in. I can talk like Darth Vader. Yeah. Anyway, cover your nose and mouth and breathe it in. Maybe I should have thought that through before I. And you can breathe that in. You can breathe it right from the bottle. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'm like, I just need a good old hit of calm, you know.
And sometimes you don't know what you need. So sometimes by sniffing it from the bottle first, before you put in the diffuser,
yeah,
you know, it's kind of what speaks to you.
That's right. We can put it on the back of our neck or our wrists, like I like to do, or even the bottom of my feet with balance, right? All right, so we've kind of come to the end. Was there anything else that you want to talk about?
Oh, I did want to talk about it. I do want you guys to keep looking at Facebook. We are getting ready to do our Christmas, 2nd annual Christmas workshop. So if you are able to come to that, we hope that you'll come and join us. We're going to be making like little elves here pretty soon to make all those Christmas items.
Kathy and I work our butts off on that. We spend hours.
Yeah, but it's fun.
It is fun.
You know, and it's fun to share and give back to everybody. So keep your eyes out on those Facebook event page. We also will continue the series. We try to do at least 1 Zoom class a month on here, so stay tuned for that as well.
Absolutely. So remember, the intro class is this Friday night. If anybody would like to come to a beginner's class to understand how to use the oil safely, that's what we'll be talking about, and some real practical uses of how to use them. And then December 2nd is our Christmas event. Okay.
And then always remember that we can do consults. So for our people that live far away, we can always do a phone call and solve as well.
Or even Zoom. We can talk face to face.
Yep. Sounds good.
So if you're interested in emotional aromatherapy, doTERRA does have a great kit. The emotional aromatherapy kit comes just like this with the little wheel with the emotions in it, and it shows you exactly how to use them. And it comes with a great petal diffuser. If you don't already have your membership, this is one of the great enrollment kits. And always remember that you can always get up to 30% back in loyalty rewards points, which means that when you are placing a monthly order, which whatever it is, you know, you will start earning points for free product. So I'm cashing in all of my points right now. Christmas gifts.
Yes, it's perfect for that.
Okay. Our ultimate success is not in the things that we have, but in the people whose lives we change. So it's really important that you remember that you may not need something right now, but maybe the people that you're with, maybe somebody in your family or somebody you work with, could really use a change of attitude, change of emotion to make them feel a little bit better. And you'd be shocked at how far reaching that can be when you can help somebody handle anxiety and or even occasional depression or sadness. You can make a big difference in people's lives by sharing the oils and how they work. I didn't go into a lot of personal stuff tonight. We were just trying to make sure that you guys got in here on regular time, a decent amount of time. But I can't tell you how much these essential oils have made a difference in my life, especially this year. Huge difference with everything that we've been through. I've been able to cope and get through this year, and I'm very grateful. And you might have somebody that needs that too. So don't forget to share. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions. If anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask any questions, or if you have anything specific that you might want to ask. Trish asks, where do you get the Emotions and Essential Oils book? Most of the aroma tools and Oil Life and all of those places will carry it on their website. I think you can even find it on Amazon.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did you want to show them the other book as well?
Oh, this is another great book if you guys are interested. This one's a little bit different. This kind of goes more into how emotions can affect our health. And I didn't go into a lot of that tonight. I usually go pretty deep into that. But for example, we did touch on how fear can affect the lungs and make it so that we can't breathe. Well, this particular book, it's called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. It was written by Carol Truman. And she goes into some really neat things. Like you can look in the back, there's some great things where she talks about, like for example, like the liver, and it's the center for anger. So, and then she talks about the different emotions that we may be feeling that can cause liver issues. Okay, so it's a really great reference book, and it helps you realize that just because you've buried and stuffed something far deep inside of you and you think that it's resolved, most likely it's just going to affect your health later on. So it's really important to actually deal with what emotions you're actually having and work through those things. It's for your own health, really.
Right. Any other questions? You can unmute.
I unmuted. I don't have any questions. It was really good. I think my Wi-Fi disconnected me momentarily, so I'm not sure what I missed. It was somewhere in between the two wheels.
Oh, okay. Between the chemistry.
Were they back to back?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
I didn't miss much then.
We'll get it posted. We're going to record it. It's being recorded, so hopefully we can get it posted and you can flip through to the part that you may have not heard.
That was good. I liked it. I got mine.
Yay.
I haven't had them very long. So.
Which one's your favorite, Trish?
It's hard. I do use Motivate. I like that. I really like Console and Passion. I like them. There's not one that I really don't like, but I never thought I liked patchouli, but it's interesting. Growing, it's growing on me.
It does. It kind of grows on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else have any questions?
I just want to say thanks, y'all. This was great. It took me a little bit to figure out how to get in, and then I'm sorry if y'all saw me with a curler in my hair sitting here for a few minutes. I was like, and then I'm jammied up for the evening. But I wanted to say it was really good, and I wanted to say I tried the Serenity capsules.
Oh, good.
And, oh my gosh, they really, and I'm a hard person to get to relax, and they've helped me relax in the evening and helped me get to that point where I could sleep. So it's awesome. And I just ordered the Joyful. The session was great, and I really enjoyed my first Zoom.
Thank you, Regina.
You're welcome.
All right, lady. Did anybody else have any questions?
Is that kit only an aroma kit?
No, you can buy the kit. You can buy the kit in the catalog. You can get either the whole kit like this, or you can get the
one with the petal diffuser.
That's an enrollment kit.
Yeah, that's good.
But they also have them, Trish, all of them together in the Aroma Touch, which I like because it's a little smaller and you can take it with you. So there's like oils and an Aroma Touch version as well that just came out.
The Touch kit, yeah. Okay.
Well, I really enjoyed this tonight, guys. I hope that you guys learned something new. I know that we kind of went into a little bit of science, but I really felt like sometimes you guys need to understand the why. You know, I can throw recipes at you all day long. Oh, speaking of recipes, okay, so you saw that really cute blend that I put up there. It's called Calm the Witch blend. Okay. Did anybody notice that there's like a ton of drops of oil in that bottle?
Yes.
Okay. So I need to address this real quick. This is what we call a stock blend. So I would make that in one of your empty bottles, okay, or one of like an empty bottle. I would just go ahead and make that blend up. And then I'd maybe add, I don't know, 5 to 10 drops of oil to an empty roller bottle and then fill the rest up with coconut oil. Okay, so then you have the blend already made and you can make roller bottle after roller bottle with it. And that way it's already diluted. Did everybody understand that or did I lose somebody?
I got it.
I got it.
Okay, so you make a stock blend and then you can use 5 to 10 drops of this and put it in a roller bottle with some coconut oil. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Plus it stretches your oils.
It stretches your oils beautifully. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you had a great night. I'm glad we kept this under an hour like we said we would. I'm going to go over, so
we tend to talk a little bit.
So it makes me happy when we got through all the slides and the questions in under an hour. So that made me pretty happy. So you guys can all get snuggled in your jammies, and I hope you all have a sweet dreams and good night. I'll talk to you guys soon.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.